Hello, welcome back to another episode of Leo Interviews. Today we have Cruz Gamboa with us.
Hi, Leo. It's so great to be on your show. I am so looking forward to this conversation. Your dad. We just had a lot of a lot of hype built up around this interview. So I'm really happy to be here today.
Oh, thank you. Well, let's go ahead and get into today's podcast. Tell me about you.
Okay, so where would you like to start? I mean, I'm over 50 years old, so there's a lot to talk about. But I'll tell you. Let's start with this. I live in Massachusetts. I have two kids. Abril, she's 21. Maximo, he's 18. And for the longest time, I worked for a corporation. I worked for General Electric for over 20 years. And after 22 years, I decided that I wanted to do something different. Ended up leaving to become an entrepreneur eventually. Started as a fractional CFO, and I can tell you more about what that means. But basically, I was a finance director for other companies on a fractional basis, meaning like part-time. Okay, and then I kind of pivoted from that to start introducing technology and to help my clients not only with their finances, but helping grow their companies. And that's what I do today. It's a combination of that finance plus growth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so when you think about growth, right? There's a lot of people that can help you with growing your company. There's people that will, for example, help you with marketing, right? So there's people that will help you with your sales strategy. There's people that will help you, to grow your brand or to grow your business through podcasting, for example, right? So there's like hundreds of different ways to grow your company. But what I do is more about just looking at the numbers, looking at what's working and what isn't working, and trying to optimize and make changes so that we can sell more and more profitably, with retaining more profits. Because one thing that I've noticed in working with some of my clients is they all want to sell more. But when you think about it, selling more is not the same as creating more profits. Those are two different things. So I try to help them so that they can sell more, make more profits, and keep more of the money of the profits that they have in the company.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. People think, like you said, that selling and profit are the same, but in reality, they're not.
They're absolutely, yes, you
Mm-hmm.
capture it perfectly. They are absolutely not the same thing. And in fact, I'll tell you this. If I told you that a company has $10 million in revenues, $10 million in revenue, right? What would you think about that company?
I would think that they're probably a good business.
Correct. But what if I now told you that company makes zero profits?
Then they're definitely a bad business.
Correct, right? So you could have two companies that have the same amount of revenue. One could have $10 million in revenue and zero profits. And one could have $10 million of revenue and like $4 million in profit. So one is way better than the other, okay? Mm-hmm. And when it comes to not only, the way that you run the business, but it's also the way that you manage the finances of the business, the way that the choices that you make on how to reinvest the profits that you make into in the business. How do you, what kind of talent, what kind of people you bring into the business to help you run the business? All of those decisions are absolutely critical in making sure that your business makes profit. So I become a partner to business owners to help them through that process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people can have like a million, billion, zillion, trillion, decillion, undecillion, non-alien. Someone comment another word above non-alien or above one of the numbers I just mentioned or just said, but like you can have tons and tons of revenue and you're doing good, but no profit. And you always want to profit when you're making a business. Like you want to profit on emotional things or on things like money. It's one or the two, right? Or you can have both. You can do something that you like and that you're profiting money off. But then there's like revenue and you're like, I'm not having fun doing this and I'm not profiting off that. So guys who are watching this and girls, please take notes of what Cruz is saying. He sounds like a very wise man.
I love what you just said because it is so aligned with the way that I think about it. You know, even like you said it in a way that is actually probably better than I could say it, because what happens is, let's go back to that example that we just started talking about, right? So let's think about a company that makes no profit. Think about the effort that it takes to run a company that generates $10 million in revenues, and then at the end of the year or at the end of the month, you look into the bank account and you have no cash, okay, because you're not generating any profits, or you feel like because you're not generating enough profits, you know, you're basically not even paying yourself enough for you to be able to, you know, live in the way that you would want to, because most of the money is actually trapped into the business. When I say trap, it means that all of the investments and all of in your time that you put into the company generates zero results for you as a business owner. So that is I consider that to be a tragedy, in the sense that when you're doing something and you're not getting the benefits, you're not getting the results, is very demoralizing, right? Like, how will you feel like if you start a company that makes no money, right? It makes you feel yucky. It makes you feel like, oh my God, what's wrong with me, right? Like why am I not able to do this and to make, you know, to turn a profit in this business? And you may or may not love what you do, but regardless, right? That's a different conversation. But regardless, you know, the effort is probably being put into the company and with no results. So that's one aspect. And the other aspect is what you said, which I love what you said, which is, how do you make sure that when you're running your company, you actually align it with your life's vision, and so that it's fun to run it? And there's a reason why, for example, like the gurus, the people that actually study these things, they have studied and they have come to the conclusion that when companies have a big why, so a big purpose to exist, and that purpose is so magnetic and so exciting that it makes the employees that work for them excited as well, and the clients excited, then that creates a premium, that creates a higher valuation for those companies. In other words, the company is worth a lot more if that exists in the organization. So there's and from a business owner perspective, you think about it, it just makes it more bearable to come in every day to work, because you know that the work that you're doing matters. Like, you're helping people or you're solving a problem in the world, and that's actually very fulfilling. As humans, we want to feel like we're useful and we're adding value to others. So this is why it's so important to align what you do with your life's mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Guys, take notes, because Cruz is very wise.
Yeah,
like
thank you.
I'm a sponge, just absolutely soaking in the information that everyone gives to me on the podcast. I'm just like sitting here. I'm like a cold pancake that you put in the microwave that gets heat up by all the, like, I guess, radiation or whatever. I'm just sitting here absorbing all this information.
That's awesome. So let me ask you, when you hear all of that, what comes up for you as a, as a kid, right? Like you're learning, you're having, you should be very grateful that you have the opportunity to learn from so many people that are, more advanced. It doesn't mean that we're not, I mean, we were all children at some point, right? So, and we relate to where you are right now. And for example, for me, I think it's so interesting and so exciting to see a young man like you that take an interest in the work that me as an adult is doing. So tell me, like, when I was describing what I do, what comes up for you? Like, what other questions you think you would have?
Questions for the podcast or like
Just in general, like, it's like we're having a conversation, so it really doesn't matter, right? So
I would say, like, what was your biggest challenge and how did you overcome it?
So yeah, life is full of challenges, right? And they happen at different levels, at different stages of our lives, right? Um, for example, like when I was in high school, I had a guy who bullied me, and that was a challenge, right? He bullied me. He tried to bully me all the time. Like, he would not leave me alone. Like, I'm just trying to go back from like sophomore year to senior year, all day long. It was so annoying. It was just not, I could not enjoy myself. I always have to be watching my back because he always tried to do things and surprise me. And after, like, fast forward many years after I had graduated from college, I actually bumped into him and he apologized to me for all the grief and all of the the annoying things that he did. And yeah, so that was a challenge. And what I did, I said, try not to, like, avoid it in that case, right? And I tried to just stay focused on my own things, but it was hard. It was hard at the time. So over time, then the other challenge was getting into college, right? Like, going through school and getting good grades. That was a challenge. So I think life is a continuous challenge. And the great thing is that every challenge has an opportunity on the other end. On the other side, there's always an opportunity for growth. There's always an opportunity for more wisdom. And, I think if I could just relate, like, share a message, or a sort of as a person that has gone through many challenges in my life, I will say that anytime you feel like, you have a challenging situation and you don't think that you are going to be able to overcome it, you need to remember that most humans actually go through challenging situations, and somehow things always work out for the best. And if you approach it from that mentality, from that mindset, then it makes it easier to navigate, and you remove the sort of the stories that we tell ourselves, the pain that you feel when you are going through the challenge. Because at the time when you're in it, when something difficult is happening, you can't, it's almost like you have this blinders, right? Like, you can't really see much further than, like, the situation that you have in front of you. But in reality, eventually there's always, things always work out, and there's always a solution, and life moves on. And that's the beauty. Like, when you see it happen many times, then you start being a little bit more relaxed about things, because you're going to always find a solution.
Exactly, guys. What is the biggest piece of financial advice that you could give to someone?
Oh, that's a beautiful one. So I'll tell you one that is actually kind of like silly, to be honest. It's so simple, and many people don't even do it, which is just look at your financials once a month. Just schedule it, like, be intentional, go into your calendar right now, okay? And make a recurring meeting in your Google Calendar, and just say, like, every last day of the month, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to look at my financials, whether that's your personal finances or your business finances, right? You need to set a date and see where you are. Because if you don't measure it, if you don't look at it, then you don't get to make changes because you don't really know. You're thinking that you know what's going on, but until you see it, you don't really know.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, it sounds kind of ridiculous, right? But there's tons of business owners that avoid looking at their own financials, whether that's because they don't like what they're going to see, they think they're not going to like it, or because they feel like they don't really understand them, and that happens a lot. So so if you don't feel like you don't understand them, then that's your cue to just seek help. Ask for help from others that could actually explain it to you, because it's probably not that hard, but you just have to overcome that belief that you're dumb, or you don't know what you're doing, or like you don't know how to read your financials, because there's somebody else that maybe they explain it to you, and in like 5 minutes you would totally understand it. So it's just having that humility to seek help from other people.
Mhm. Yeah. Today we were like, oh, we don't need help. Nope, totally under control. And there's like a fire in the back, and you're like, today's the best day ever. Totally nothing bad happening in the background. I mean, even if there was like a fire, which there's totally not, we would put it out. Oh, look, that's Bob's house. Oh gosh, it hit the oil line. Oh, what a bummer. It's
Yes.
like we need help. Like
Need help.
you always need help in life.
Yeah, we do. And I'll tell you this, when I was a little kid, I also at some points of my childhood, I felt like I shouldn't ask for help, because I felt embarrassed to ask for help and to acknowledge that that I didn't know something, or that I actually needed help. Can you imagine, like, feeling bad for knowing that you actually need help, and not being able to ask for that help? So I think this is something that we don't need to be bashful if we need help, either asking our parents, or asking a partner, or a friend, or a relative, right? Or somebody we trust. It's so important. We're here. We, like, humans are social animals, right? We are meant to grow in community. We are meant to grow in together. So we're not meant to be alone or to grow alone. So that's a very important thing that we need to remember about ourselves as humans.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's that time of the podcast again. It is self-promoting, but before we self-promote, we have to help our people who come on today's podcast. So, is there maybe a website, a link, a social, or really just anything where people can help find you and support you?
Yeah, probably like the easiest way to find me is through LinkedIn. So it'll be linkedin.com /Cruz Gamboa. Or just look me up. Just go into LinkedIn and just type Cruz space Gamboa, Gamb as in boy, OA. And that's where you could read more about me, about what I do, the way I think. I am, I'm pretty generous with the content. I try to like add value every day. I pretty much post almost every day unless something comes up. But yeah, I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. And if you also are interested in just learning more about some of the blind spots that I have identified on 7 and 8 figure business owners, you can also go to scalingcfo.io / I think it's, yeah, / blind spots, the word blind spots. And you can download sort of this document that I put together that describes the 7 most frequent blind spots that I see on any business owner in my experience.
Perfect. Well, guys, go help support Cruz. He's been an amazing guest on today's podcast. And as always, you guys know where you guys can find us, leointerviews.com. We will have some new merch releasing soon. You can find it there. leointerviewsacademy.com. Leo Interviews Academy is an academy where we teach your kids how to build confidence, make great connections in life, and also how to teach them the social real world skills. And you can apply today for $197 doll hairs, not actual dollars, doll hairs. We totally won't reverse it and actual be dollars. It's totally doll hairs. Anyway, but the first 25 families get a 20% off. Or wait, no, the first 25 families to buy get a 20% off discount. Well, that's a lot to say. But you guys can go ahead, buy now, leointerviewsacademy.com. And, well, as always, we have to ask the question that we ask everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, it's going to be quite a challenge for you to answer it, but are you sure you want to hear it?
I definitely want to hear it. Absolutely.
Okay, the question is, if you had two sodas, if there were two sodas right in front of you, but you can only drink one of them, and one of them was a Coke and the other was a Sprite, which one would you choose?
Ooh, it's just like any Coke or a Diet Coke or
So it can be any type of Coke, any type of Sprite. It can be anything as long as it's one of those.
Well, if it could be any type of soda, it would be Dr. Pepper.
Well, yeah, you have to choose a type of Coke or Sprite.
Oh, okay. Well, what about a Diet Coke then?
That works.
Yes.
Okay, that's a point for Team Coke. Coke is now at like 7 points, I'm pretty sure. A Sprite is at 4. It is the first one to 10 points wins. Sprite, you gotta start working up because Sprite is losing right now. This is not looking good for Team Sprite.
It's really not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, it's been great being on your show. I think you're doing something awesome. I love it. And just let me know how I can help you. And I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to be here with you. And just tell your dad that he rocks. And I'm really looking forward to just continue the chat and maybe one day come in and visit you guys. So
yeah, of course. Well, as always, it was nice chatting with you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right.